Welcome, everybody, to Catfish Weekly, presented by Catfish Clothing. We want to welcome Matthew Miles of Catfish Clothing to the Catfish Weekly show. And, Doc, we got a bunch of stuff to go over tonight.
Yes, we do.
We are here with the Dr. Tim Lang. Cindy is back, guys, so she'll be spinning the RigRap wheel and keeping track of chat. I'm Lyle Stokes. Our guest, Paul Blackwell, will be with us in one momento. Doc, we got it's been a really busy week, and I know you guys finished a tournament over the weekend. Congratulations on a great finish.
Thank you. Appreciate that. A lot of heavy wind, about 30-mile-an-hour wind, but we made it happen.
Now, there is I heard today that you just about got parachuted out of the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, because I last year I bought one of those Easterland drift socks, and I had, I pulled it out of the front of the boat, and that wind caught it, and buddy, I'll tell you what, it would have taken me right out of the boat. We were grabbing it, trying to fold it down and try to get it in the water. It's the first time I'd ever used it.
Wow.
So, but man, did it make a difference in dragging baits. It really slowed my big 24-foot sea arc right down.
Well, cool beans. I'm glad to know that. I've heard awful good things about them from everybody that's got them.
Thanks, Cat Slime Catfishing.
I think they're awesome. They're a great product. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. We got people before the show, Doc, that was sending in stuff that want to give prizes away in chat again tonight, so it's going to be a big show. Along with all these sponsors that we have for the Catfish Weekly National Championship, Pressure Marine and Big Cat Fever Rods and Warrior Cat Rods and Driftmaster Rod Holders and several of the other sponsors. We also today are joined by Tangle with Catfish. Jerry Klein II has graciously come on board to be another sponsor for our tournament. We're very thrilled about that. Can't wait for him to give us an indication on what it's going to be, but it's going to be a blast, and we're going to have a really good time.
Yes, we are. Thank you, Daniel Kennedy. We appreciate it there.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Daniel. All this is greatly appreciated. We got, them some pretty good-looking hats, aren't they, Dave? I like mine. It's really special.
Yeah. Now, last night, we got 2 inches of snow here. And today it was like 33 degrees. In typical Ohio weather, tomorrow's going to be 70.
Aren't you the lucky guy with that snow? But I got to tell you,
it's gone now.
We had freezing rain and sleet last night, but the roads didn't get bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. So
all was good in Missouri land. Now that I know that we need to wait till there's a bunch of people in there. Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scott.
We got around 140 people or so in here. And before we get Paul in here,
man, these guys are.
Thank you, Bottom Dollar. Some of these guys are going to understand what this is. This is a 20-ounce weight. And a lot of guys never put a 20-ounce weight on their line, ever. This is common for us. We use 20s and 24s on the Missouri, Mississippi River all the time. And that baby is bad to the bone because it is on a new easy sinker slide from RigRap. These babies, we've been waiting all winter for them. They finally come in. All the pre-orders, if you don't have them already, they will be at your house in the next day or two. Glenn has already shipped all of the pre-orders that people made. They're already on the way, and he has a few of these left. This is the 6-pack instead of 3-pack like other places sell. And this is the bulk pack that has a total of 48 in it. You do not have to take your line apart. You can slip it a loop right inside the center of it here and over each end, and you can take the sinker slide on and off. You don't have to do that to change them out if you want weights on them or not. I don't know if you can see up in there, but you can see the design of how them things are made, and they are awesome. Won't come off your line, won't break. Like I say, that's a 20-ouncer. I would have put a 24 on, but I didn't want to climb out in the boat to get it. It ain't going to break. Good stuff. RigRap.
Yeah, big wide duo lock too.
Number 7 stainless steel dual lock. That's why I put it on this one. Like I say, I should have got a 24, but it'll fit. There's a little room. I mean, you put any size sinker on that you want. This is going to change the way people that use sinker slides use them, because if something would happen and you need to add one or take one off, you don't have to cut your line and take all that stuff off. You just slip a loop over there, slide each end around, and you're on, and it will not come off the way it's designed. As you can see up in there, they're not going to come off. Very great product. We've been waiting all winter for them. I couldn't wait to get them. And, Doc, they are on the RigRap Prize wheel tonight.
All right.
So
we just might get lucky and give some of those away.
Well, we got a few to give away, so we may give that a try. In the meantime, sitting patiently waiting is Paul Blackwell. Paul Blackwell, Fish On Guide Service. How's it going, buddy?
Good.
Man, we've been planning this to get you on here for a while, man.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a few months for sure.
I was so glad when you got your captain's license and started up your new guide service. And, man, have you been putting some great fish in the boat this spring?
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, it's been going good. We've been catching a lot of good fish, but you have bad days too. So,
well, that's why you're not catching, isn't it?
We haven't got skunked yet.
There you go.
We've only got one trip out without a 30-plus pounder. So
one trip without a 30-pounder.
Without a 30.
You know, there's a lot of guys that can't say that.
Yeah, I'd say so. But that guy had his chance twice, and Stumps wasn't having it.
So you're fishing a lot in structure then?
I do. Anybody that's familiar with Santee tell you stumps are everywhere. It don't matter if it's 20, 30 foot of water or 4 foot, there's stumps. So you have to deal with them a lot.
Yep. Thank you, Brock. We appreciate it. Adventures Backwoods Brock and the A-Team donated $5 to us for shipping costs and other things. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, that's
thanks, Todd.
That is a wow. Thank you, Todd. That is a great fishery out there, and I know you've been on it for a while, and you was fishing, catching some giant fish before the guide service, but now you get to share that knowledge and ability with all the other guys, and when you take them out on trips and stuff, and some of the fish you caught have been giants, and it looks like you lots of smiles on your boat.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't so far. You know, we just started. March the 2nd was the first trip. We've done about 2 trips every weekend since, and that's about what it looks like for the next 2 months as well. So
awesome.
It's going good. I'm just guiding mainly on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. I still got a real job like everybody else. So,
yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, I got a plan. I got a 2-year plan and then a 5-year. So we'll see what happens.
You got a best laid land, but the best laid plans is what everybody's after, and you make them work out. And that's just that much better. George Mesmer, how you doing, buddy? Glad to see you on the show tonight. Not working for a change.
But yeah, it's a great fishery. I mean, it's making a comeback. There's still a lot of trot lines, a lot of that, but it's making a comeback. I mean, conservation is starting to come into play with a lot of the fishermen down there. As far as I know, don't hold me to this, but I am the only guide there that you have no discussion about releasing fish over 15 pounds. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's happening. Whether it's all we catch, you don't have an option if you get on my boat.
Wow. I'm proud of you for that. That's really cool. Now, my buddy Luke from Northwood Angling says that he wanted to say hello before he starts driving again. And, oh, my God, Mr. Blackwell.
Luke, I think he made that Pure Leaf tea famous. They need to hook him up.
They really do.
They need to.
Your buddy Matthew Miles, he thinks you're dreamy.
Yeah.
I'm not
I'll text him later. Yeah, I'll text him later with my comment.
Awesome. Doc, have you got some questions you want to visit with Paul about?
So where are you guiding mainly out of? South Carolina?
Yes, sir. Out of Hills Landing and Marina. It's on the rediversional canal. It's about centered up of the two lakes. Santee Cooper is made out of two lakes, Lake Marion, Lake Moultrie. Lake Marion's about 155,000 acres. Lake Moultrie is 65,000. I mainly fish the lower lake, Lake Moultrie. I'm just more comfortable there, but yeah.
Now, when you refer to the rediversion canal,
Yes,
what are you talking about there?
There's a canal that connects the two lakes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's where most of the marinas are. Well, not most of them, but the more prominent ones. Hills Landing is pretty much dead center of it. So if you want to go in either direction, to the upper lake or the lower lake, is convenient on both sides. They typically have bait and they've got a restaurant and so forth, so on. So motels. So it makes it convenient to guide out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what kind of place there? So it makes it more convenient for me as well.
Yeah. What kind of boat are you fishing out of?
I've got a 2018 Sea Art Pro Cat 240.
One like mine, other than it's 9 years newer than me.
Yeah, I've got the full enclosure. It's got all the bells and whistles.
Cool. All right. That's good. And what do? You take out, how many clients do you take out?
I do up to 4, and that's just a comfort level for myself.
Yeah.
But 4, I will put 5 on there, but I don't really want to. It's just at that point, there's just more people, more chances.
Yeah, that keeps you pretty busy to begin with.
It does with 4. I mean, I had 4 on there Saturday, and one of them fellas was a big old boy, and scooting around him was rough to do. So, but
now, are you mainly anchoring down, or what are you doing? What's your preferred method?
Typically, we'll go out and anchor up for the first 2.5 hours. I'm patient. If I drop anchors, I'm sitting there a while. I'll sit there 2.5 to 3 hours, and usually it pays off. Then we'll take off from there and go drift.
Okay. Now, what kind of structure are you targeting?
Well, I'm a shallow water fisherman. Anybody that knows me, they know that I'm rarely over 20 foot, and that's year round. But typically, I'm looking for ditches with some shallow flats around it. We'll anchor up on that, and I'll fish the ditch and the shallow flats as well at the same. And 90% of the time, as soon as I pull up anchor, I go to drifting from that spot back. I'll either go shallower or out towards the deeper side of it, depending on which way I think the fish are moving. But I don't normally just anchor up and then take off the other side of the lake and start a drift. I'll go from the anchor spot.
Yeah. James Darker, wants to know, what is your go-to rig?
Carolina rig, drifting. If you can't catch them anchored, there's no point in waiting on them. Go get them. Go find them. Pull baits. Eventually, you'll make something happen. You'll figure out the pattern. You'll figure out what depth they're staying in. That's my thing. I'll try to anchor up where I can fish multiple depths at one time. And I love fishing ditches because I feel like that's a highway for the fish to run out the shallow flats from feeding at night, for say, coming back out to a little bit deeper water. You can't go wrong with drifting. I don't think you can. Not on a lake. Because, I mean, like I said, you're moving. You're hitting different depths, and eventually you'll figure out that pattern, whether it's 14 foot that they seem to be active in, or 24 foot, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Bottom Dollars Outdoors says, don't be giving me all your secrets, Paul.
I don't have any secrets. Most of them guys think I have one spot on that lake anyway, so find it.
Don't forget, everybody, to hang in there for a little bit. We got something big to talk about here pretty soon. We do not want to forget about it.
And they're already touting, let's go ahead and spin the wheel then.
Well, you know what, Doc?
Quarter after.
Do that. Paul, if you pick me out a number between 1 and 5, we're going to see who gets a shot at the RigRap Prize wheel.
How about 1? Make it easy.
That'll be easy. 1 it is, and the winner is Joe Hardy. Joe Hardy gets the first spin tonight, and let's just see what he gets. Give her a whirl there, kiddo. Holy moly. Spun the bearings out of that bad boy.
Not yet.
Whoa!
I got it.
First time.
Bingo.
Wow, what a deal. Joe Hardy, if you will contact me after the show tonight, send me a message on the Catfish Weekly Facebook page with your name and address. We will get you a package of easy sinker slides from RigRap sent out to you. And thanks for watching the show and playing the RigRap Prize Wheel game. Awesome. First spin with a new deal. Man, that's bad. I just awesome. Glenn will be so happy.
Yeah, he's in chat too.
Yes, he is. Robert's in chat, and Glenn's in chat. We got a whole bunch of people in here. The chat's rolling right along tonight. Nothing unusual about that, however.
Everybody patiently waiting.
Yes, there was several waiting to get in when we started the show. I think they just wanted to see Paul.
I think it's the wheel.
You do?
Yes, sir.
You know, I know Doc's been asking you some questions, but I need to know how come that you got the nickname Hollywood.
Matthew Miles. Miles. He's got multiple nicknames. I've heard Hollywood, Smiley, Hank. I've heard all kinds of stuff. He thinks he's cute.
Does he now?
Yeah, he thinks he's cute.
Okay. Well, he's really good for the sport. He does a lot of good stuff for all of us, and we're so appreciative of everything that he does for the sport of catfishing.
He's been good to me, that's for sure.
Absolutely. He does rag on you a little bit.
What's the choice of bait?
Hmm?
Bait. Someone asked about bait.
Oh, what's your bait of choice out there where you're at?
That's tough. Right now, I'm using river herring a lot. It's basically just like a skipjack, but for some reason, South Carolina skipjack and everywhere else the skipjack's different. So it's a saltwater herring. They're running up in the lake now, so it's kind of like candy right now. They get it once a year when it comes up, spawn out. So that right now, that's what I'm using mostly. That and white perch. But during the summer, I use white perch pretty much about all the time. And in the winter, I like gizzard shad. So that's kind of my 3 baits down there. Some guys use mullet and different things. I just don't have any luck off of it personally.
Now, when you talk about white perch, are you talking about drum?
I've never heard them called drum. Looks like a white bass, but some people mistake them for a white bass.
Okay. It must be something different we have, because around here they call the river perch are called white perch. All they are drum.
Round the head on them, don't they?
Yeah, you can't catch nothing on them. You can't even inject them with stuff and get something to bite them. They're disgusting. They're nasty. I don't think anything eats the damn things.
White perch here it's good bait.
Huh.
It's really good bait. Some of the biggest fish I've caught come off of them.
Michael Malott wants to know, what kind of rods are you using?
I use the big cat fever rods. They just come out with a new medium rod. I'm switching over to using it anchored fishing, and I'm using the medium heavy for drifting.
Pat Mateus says nothing likes drum in Iowa either. They don't. I've had them where there wasn't nothing else in that you could get used for bait, and you just might as well go home, because they ain't nothing gonna catch anything on.
Yeah, ours do the same thing here on the Ohio. They got you shake them and You can hear rocks rolling in their head.
Yeah, I've cut them out before. See what they look like. They're just nasty. You know, they're like an Asian carp, except Asian carp will catch fish.
It will catch fish.
Yes, it will. It will. A lot of people don't like it, but they work.
Fat Boy Dan, he likes to use a Carolina rig.
That's what I use. I use the Kentucky rig some as well. When the bite's tough, I'll use it.
Good
Sometimes it'll seem to.
Michael Castillo wants to know, what size hooks do you use, Paul?
I use a bunch of different sizes: 7-aught, 8-aught, 9-aught, 10-aught. It just depends on the size of the bait that I'm using. I try to make my hook presentation along with the bait presentation. I don't use a big hook with a little bait and vice versa. I use a lot of double hook rigs too.
Jacob Turner wants to know, what's a Kentucky rig?
Well, it's basically, you'll have a leader about 3-4 foot long, however, and you've got 2 hooks on it. One about a third of the way down, one another third, and then the sinker at the bottom. Put 2 small baits on it, and it'll pick up a fish. I think Chris Saunders did a video one time on YouTube where he was pretty much not getting a bite at all, throwed out the Kentucky rig and caught like a 40-something pound flathead on it. So
yeah, I think he had Douglas with him or something.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's, you know, a lot of people get after me, but I like that rig.
I do too.
For back bottom bouncing on the big water.
I use it a lot suspended when it gets real cold. I'll hit out there in that 50-foot water down here, which don't happen much, but I use it a lot suspended when I get out in that deep water, and then I'll anchor up with it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Brian Wagner wants to know, is Paul a braid or a mono guy?
Mono, all the way. Y'all can have braid, you can keep it. It's not up for discussion. I hate it.
Keep buying it and sending it out to me. I'll take all you got.
I can't stand it. I feel like my hookup ratio is better with mono. I use slime line, 30-pound main line, and I use a 50-pound leader.
Awesome. Awesome. That's a lot different than a lot of people don't use the heavier line for leaders. A lot of them will use a lighter line for leaders, but you're using a heavier line for leaders.
Yeah, the big reason for me is because of all the stumps I'm fishing.
I see.
That's the big reason.
Hey,
I've never had any issues with 30-pound. I've been using it ever since I started catfishing, and I've caught some big fish on it. So I think if you got your drag set right, you'll be all right.
That's 90% of it. I tell people every day, if you get your drag on your reel and the action of your rod do what it's supposed to do and what it's designed to do, you'll never break anything. You'll never bend hooks. You never break rods or strip reels out or anything. You let things do what they're designed to do, things will work out. But the next thing you know, we're wearing back on them. Something has to give. That's just the way it is.
That's it. A lot of these guys are using heavy rods with their drag set tight. I don't know. That just don't work for me.
Yeah, me either. Hey, Doc, you remember at the beginning of the show, I had something I wanted you to remind me of? James just made a little thing there, and I seen it as it went by. James Dockery would like to give away some sinkers.
Okay, we can do that. Let me get set up here. Good Lord, there's 171 in there.
I want to thank everybody for hitting the like button. We have 102 likes already tonight. Thank you so much. They mean so much to us. And if you wouldn't mind, join our Facebook page and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It goes a long way in getting our name up to the top of the list on YouTube. And that's where we need to be so we can keep getting good sponsors and stuff in here to give away these products.
Give me a number, Paul.
2.
All right, there's 1. And there's 2. And the winner is Bottom Dollars Outdoors.
Bottom Dollar Outdoors. If you will contact James
James
Godfrey, he will get your sinkers to you. And thank you so much for playing along and watching Catfish Weekly.
Thank you, James. We appreciate the donation there.
It means so very much to us. So
I saw a question that was really good, and I got to get back to the chat. It was okay. Somebody asked, and I don't remember who it was, but I know what the answer is. But it's a good question. Why do you use a heavier leader than your maiden line?
Because I fish a lot of structure, and I feel like most of the torque of that fish is going to be on your leader. If you like Lyle and I was saying, if you use the correct rod and the correct drag and let those two work together, then all you really need to worry about is that leader. And I fish such heavy structure, so I want to use a little heavier one just in case I was to get a snag or something on it. It's still got a little more backbone behind it.
Dave Swearing wants to know what reels are you using?
All of mine are a Boo Garcia 6500s. Most of them are the Catfish specials. I have some with the line counters. I'm kind of anal about knowing exactly where my bait is. But I do have one pin, and I hate those reels. I know a lot of guys love them. They retrieve too slow, but the clicker is really loud on them. And when I anchor up, I always throw one out the front of the boat and forget about it. Well, that clicker is so loud on there, you don't have to worry about not hearing it when you got it in free spool. So that's the only reason I have that one, but I love the Abu Garcias.
Oh, yeah, me too. What's the current water temperature on Santee?
It started out at 56 this weekend and ended up at 60 on my last trip out.
Roger DeMint, if you want one of those cutouts like I have on the wall behind me, contact Jerry Klein Jr. with Tangle with Catfish. That is where that come from. And I got to tell you, it looks a lot better in person than it does in that video. It is very nice.
Yeah.
Doc has one too.
I got two on the barn now. Two different ones. Here was another one where, oh man, this chat is just rolling. Like
Brian Wagner would like to know if you use planer boards.
Yes, I do. Honestly, when drifting, 90% of my fish come off of them. I'm using the Zach Royce planer boards. I've been using them ever since he came out with them. They do a great job for me. But yes, and like I said, 90% of my fish drifting come off the planer boards.
when you're drifting, do you use a sock? If so, what kind?
Yes, sir. I'm fortunate Easterland Sea Anchors is actually a sponsor of mine. So I use Easterland Sea Anchors. I've got 2 6-foots and a 10-foot on my boat. Typically, if I've got to drop one, I go ahead and drop the 2 6-foots.
Yeah, that 10-footer, when the wind catches it, it'll lift you right off the boat.
Yeah, it will. And like I said, I'm a shallow water fisherman, so 10 foot's a little bit too deep for me.
Getting to, yeah. Now, how far away from the boat do you run your
I'm almost
sock?
spooked. Oh, my sock, 6 foot. 6 foot. I've got a 6-foot lanyard on them, and I've got it about 6 foot away.
Okay, so you got them right off of that side of the boat then?
Yes, sir, right off the back most of the time.
Okay.
These hats, for the guys checking on these hats, you can get them at Catfish Clothing with a K-A-T-F-I-S-H Clothing. Matthew Miles will hook you up with hats just like these.
Shannon the Chubb Williams wants to know, do you use a lot of live bait? And if so, what?
In the summer, I do, and white perch. But yeah, in the summer, I do throw some live bait. More cut than anything, but I will throw some live bait. Like I said, most of the time that's in the summer.
Yeah. Glenn from RigRap wants to know if you use sinker slides.
No, I don't. I'd use just a dual lock snap, and I tie it onto the main line side of my swivel.
Todd's got a good question. He said, we are fishing the Cat Quest tournament next week. on Santee. Which side of the lake do you suggest we try first?
One of the 65,000 acres.
Great answer. Great answer.
Yeah.
Ben Weber wants to know how far behind do you set your lines out before you click your planer board on?
I'm a firm believer the further you are away from the boat, the better off you are. Again, because I'm shallow all the time. So, and like I said, I have line counters. I mean, I'm sending about the rods off the back, about 250 feet of back. And then the ones on planer boards, they're about 100 foot behind the planer board. I want to get as far away from my boat as I possibly can and still have enough line and to feel comfortable if one was to start peeling drag that I can still catch him.
Yeah.
Now, do you turn your 240 sideways, or do you go front back? How do you do it?
Usually I'm dragging off the back. I rarely turn it sideways. It's got to be some nasty wind for me to turn it sideways. If it's got to the point where you need to turn it sideways, I'm gonna go find some cubby hole to get in. See what I can do.
Now, see, I prefer to have mine sideways because it gives me more spread of the rods, and
Right.
that's how I like to fish out of mine.
And if I can't pull planer boards because the wind is so bad and the swells are so bad, then I will turn it sideways, like you said, to get more span.
Yeah.
But other than that, I rarely do it.
Here's a good question for you. Steve Johnson would like to know, does Warrior Cat Rod Pro staffers get a discount to fish with you?
Nobody gets a discount.
Not even Steve if he flies in from California.
Tell him to come on up.
do you drift at?
Sir?
What speeds are you pulling your baits at?
In the wintertime, I try to stay at like 0.2, 0.3 when the water temp gets down to like 50 degrees. I try to slow it down. I do a lot of spot locking. That's when I'm hitting that deeper water. But like right now, I'm running between 0.4 and 0.7. And like our water temp's up to 60. But normally it's 0.4, 0.5. I think that's the general census here in the South with about any fisherman.
Makes the boards work good at that speed too.
It does. I mean, you can get a 100-foot spread pretty easy.
Yep. Doc, we was talking before the show. We needed to talk about something, and here it is. Swamp Divers Outdoor Cat Rags. For you guys that are looking for these, you can get a hold of these. Just go to their Facebook page, and that's why you like them. They are really, really long.
That thing is really clean too.
Yeah, it's because we've been having crappy weather in Missouri, and I ain't got a chance to use it. If I had had a chance to use it, you wouldn't be seeing it because it'd be all nasty.
I know. That's what mine looks like.
Yeah, these things are so well built with this cordure or whatever kind of fabric that he puts on the outside of this clip deal, and it got a real heavy duty grommet here with this carabiner on there. You can clip it to your belt, you can clip it to your pocket, you can put it. I like using them around rod holder bases.
Yeah, and they're the perfect length because they're about what, 15, 16 inches long. And so you can reach down. You don't have to bend over to get it. You just reach over and grab it, and you can wipe your hands and then let go of it.
You just get on Swamp Divers Outdoors on Facebook and tell Dan Carr you want to buy some of these, and he will hook you up. Man, they're way cool, and it's a great towel. It's almost too nice to use, but we're going to use it.
Michael Castillo, catfishclothing.com. That's where the hats we're wearing came from.
With a K, Catfish with a K.
Yep.
Our old buddy Luke Hinges says it's snowing very hard and 29 degrees. Boo-hoo, you're the one that wanted to live up north and catch them big flatheads, Luke.
It's 80 degrees here today.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that crap.
Glenn says move to Florida. It's 85 here today.
Yeah, he told me today he had some great weather. We're going to have Luke and some of the other guy, Blake, and some of them guys on here this summer, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a blast. Luke Hinge is always a great guest.
Carl Wells says, need some of them. Wife getting tired of her towels going missing.
Bradley, I'm not sure yet. We haven't had our boat out since we fixed the ground on the trolling on the depth finder. I got my trolling motor fixed. It's only been 6 months, but it is fixed and working out. It's back on, but it's going to depend, Brad, on a couple of different things, and weather being one of them. Not sure if we're there yet or not.
Couple of quick questions here. I saw it earlier. What kind of electronics are you using?
When I was using Lowrance, and that's all I'd ever used before I got the C-Art, and I went with the Humminbird Solix 12, and so I could link it to my Ultera. And I'll be honest with you, I like the Humminbirds. From the mega imaging to the charts, now the sonar, that's another ball game, but I like the Humminbird. I think that I'm gonna be Humminbird from this point forward.
I can understand that.
I don't have a problem with that.
No, you're too easy to get along with. I can't even get you aggravated about
You
it.
ain't gonna get me going with it. I've been in Lowrance ever since that little green box come out, so it's kind of hard to change over.
I do. And man, you can make one of them do what they're supposed to do, and that makes all the difference.
Greg Alla wants to know, will his guide service affect his tournament fishing this year?
That's been the $50 million question. The answer is yes. I'm gonna fish Mississippi River Monsters. George actually messaged me earlier this week and said, "Are you coming to fish my tournament?" I told him I would, so I hold to it. I'm gonna fish it. I'll probably go out to Monsters on the Ohio. I am fishing the Sea Arc Owners Tournament. There's a tournament here in 2 weeks, and I don't know if I'm gonna fish it or not yet. I haven't decided. I had a fellow was gonna fish with me, and I think there's some conflict on his side to where he's not gonna be able to, and so I don't know yet about it. But I'm not gonna fish any small tournaments. It'd be the bigger ones, because I won't be honest with you. I'd rather guide than tournament fish. I enjoy it more. But at the same token, I want to fish some of them bigger tournaments so I can come out and see guys like y'all and all the other buddies, that you've made across chasing the tournament scene. So
we want to see you there.
I'll still fish with you, but it won't be like what I was.
I got a message on Facebook, and the gentleman said, ask Paul about the Magic Mist spray he uses.
Yeah. There's no such thing. It's orange juice in a bottle.
You got some fans, man.
I know. It's South Carolina. It's small, population small. Yeah. I don't use the Magic Mist. That's a running joke in South Carolina.
Okay. John Barnett wants to know, do you prefer flatheads or blues?
That's a hard question. I like blues and I like flatheads too, so I don't know. If I had to choose one, I don't know what I'd say. Honestly, I don't know. I like them both. It's either way, it's fun. They're both fun to catch. Flatheads hold the bottom and it's hard trying to get them up, and that's fun. And then blues just hit it like a freight train, and that's fun. So I catch more blues than I do flatheads, but that's more so what I'm targeting as well. But I'm about to get started into targeting some flatheads in the next couple of weeks, so it'll pick up. But that, I don't know. I like them both. I couldn't pick one.
I have another in off of Facebook, and the gentleman would like to know, what was the fix for your trolling motor?
The worm gear.
Worm gear.
It broke down there at Winter Wheeler, and when we put it back on, we were a 16th off. So when my Ultera was standing up, C-Arc puts that bracket on there for the trolling motors, and it was hitting by a 16th. We literally took a grinder, grinded off an 1/8 of an inch, and it's been working ever since.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of sinker do you use, Paul?
For anchoring, I use a 3-ounce river coin. It's just bait. It's just round.
The round.
Yes, sir. And then for dragging baits, I'm using just a normal old paracord slinky weight. I'm also using the drifting sticks, and I use the Larry Muse dragging rigs as well. I think they all three have their place at certain times.
Jerry Ishcomer wants to know, is there a certain depth that you fish when you're using planer boards?
All of it, from 2 foot to whatever.
Hmm.
My boat will go, I'll use planer boards.
Yeah.
All right. I am getting ready to, well, if it'll let me, we're going to do a giveaway in the chat room. Give me another number, Paul, please.
2. Let's keep it simple.
Okay.
How many rods do you fish?
All right. 2. There's 1. And there's 2. And the winner is Catfish Stalker Outdoors with Greg Olala. Greg, get with Doc after the Catfish Weekly show, and I will send you out a prize pack from Offshore Tackle. And congratulations and thanks for listening to Catfish Weekly.
Absolutely. What was the question, Cindy? Oh, how many rods do you use on your guide trips?
I'm fortunate where I have a lot of rods. So I have 10 rods rigged for anchoring that I keep on the boat, and then I've got 8 for drifting, and I just switch rod to rod. Typically when I anchor up, I'm using 8 rods max, and then drifting 6. I don't see the point in any more than that. I can cover everything.
Is there a law out there on how many you can use or not use?
No, sir. If you own a boat, and you can put 40 of them off of a 16-foot boat if you can find room for it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a lot of bait to have to worry about, though.
Yeah, and you look like a porcupine when you're dragging around.
I got a buddy that James Moore, he has 40 rods hanging off that boat. And I asked him one time, I said, does that not get hard? Do you not get tangled up? He said, yeah, it's a pain in the butt, but I catch a lot of fish, so it's worth it. I can't do it. That's too much bait to have to make sure you got.
Yeah. K-Bug Clark would like to know, what's your favorite rod?
The Big Cat Fever medium heavy.
There you
go. Michael Pence wants to know, Paul, do you use Dreaming Dragons?
I officially used them like 3 weeks ago. I'd never used them before, and somebody gave me a pack of them. I tied a few of them on, and they weren't for me. I'm not saying they don't work and that they're not good. The peg float works just as good for me, and I like that better.
How about a favorite fishing story?
Favorite fishing story? Well, me and my daughters were, this is probably the best one. First time they ever went to Santee with me. We got there late. We went and anchored up on the spot. We caught about 30 fish that night. But the best part of it was Madison, the 13-year-old, caught a 59, which was her personal best. Trin, my oldest, she caught a 54, which was her personal best. And I caught an 83, which at the time was mine.
Wow, that's a heck of a night, man.
And that was in like 4 hours. So
what a day.
That's the best fishing trip I've ever had.
Brian Saunders wants to know, what's the biggest fish you ever landed in your boat?
93 now.
That was not too far back. I remember when that happened.
Yeah, it's just a little over a month ago.
Yep, that was a great fish, man. It took some wonderful pictures of that fish too.
It was a good one. I almost didn't let that boy catch it. That one's hard. That's hard to hand the rod over on. Because when he hit it like a train.
When you're anchored in the river, have you ever tried planer boards? Do you have enough current out there to do that?
No, we don't have much current. Our current would be a mile an hour. Y'all would call it a lake.
Yeah.
No, we don't. Bumping don't exist here. Anchoring up and using planer boards to pull your bait out, there's not enough current to do it.
I see.
Shannon Williams wants to know if you grill out on your boat and wine and dine your clients.
No, but he's more than welcome to bring his own pecan swirls and peanut butter crackers. No, I don't do all that.
How do you pattern fish on a reservoir?
The biggest thing is the bait that they're wanting, the depth, and how they want it. That's the biggest thing. That's where I think drifting comes into play. You know, you hit different depths and you pay attention to where you fish are biting. What depth, and then what cut of the bait or what bait. Like I use my culling system and I mark my rods with like a headpiece or a different type of bait. So I can keep up with exactly what I'm catching fish on. And every time I catch a fish or a fish hits the bait, I look and see what depth I'm at, or if I'm coming up a ledge or down it. And that goes back to knowing where my baits are with the line counters. I'm bad about when I go over a ledge, you know, you can hit, say on your down scan, you can hit that ledge and it'll tell you how far your boat's away from that ledge as you keep going further. And so I do that a lot, so I know it, and then I know where that bait's at, so I know if it's coming up it and they hit it at that time. So that's how I pattern. Works out for me.
Awesome. What kind of hooks you use?
Hookers, terminal tackle.
Pretty sharp, ain't they?
They are. I've got a few holes in my fingers. They are these new 8-aughts they've got. I think that's the sharpest ones they've got. Them sun guns just keep getting me.
City said there was a question a while ago about what bait you caught the 93 on.
4-inch gizzard shad.
Live or cut?
Cut. I cut him about 3/4 of him. All I had was the head and about 3/4 of his body.
Nice.
Yakking with Sarah wants to know, how far in advance do you need to book with you?
It doesn't matter. As long as the date's open, you're good to go. Go to my website, book the trip. I mean, matter of fact, I had a guy book Wednesday to fish Thursday or Friday. So
cool.
Last week.
As
long as the date's open, it's yours, sir.
Are you using Mad Cat or hooks?
Yes.
Yes.
Dustin Fall wants to know, what does he charge for 2 people? I'd like to take my wife and me out.
2 people's $450, 3 or 4 people's $550.
All right. What's your favorite way to cut bait?
I call it a catfish sandwich. I stole that name from Larry Muse, but our cuts are different. But a perch or brim or anything, I like to fillet it down the backbone on one side, fillet it down the backbone on another, and then cut the backbone out and drag it. Those 2 flaps will flap around, and I've caught a lot of fish off that cut. But that's my favorite cut.
So
that's
you
take the body and
you take the backbone completely out of your bait?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. That's different.
Yep. Leave the head on it, and then you have basically 2 fillets attached to the head. I shouldn't have told y'all that.
Yeah, you should.
Sean Rabbie wants to know, how do you set up your 2-hook rig on your bait?
The double hook rig.
What?
It depends on what size bait I have. Like with this river heron, it's 10, 12 inches long. So I've got the hooks about 6 to 7, 8 inches apart, and just cut off a little bit of the tail. And again, I'll fillet it on one side because I want a lot of blood. But then if you're using, you know, an 8-inch gizzard shad, I just try to take about 2 inches away from the size of the bait I'm using.
Okay.
On the double hook rig.
Yeah, everybody's calling it a flapper, a butterfly.
Meat curtain.
Meat curtain. Yeah, I've never heard that one. That's
new to me.
I call it a catfish sandwich.
Hey, all I want to call it's a way to catch fish.
Yeah, it catches them. I like it.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome.
Okay, Paul, it's time to spin the RigRap wheel one more time. Give us a number.
About 1.
I like that, man.
Number 1.
Ain't no point making y'all work too hard.
We have 390 people in the drawing tonight, and the first person on the list is Brent Ernest. So we'll see what Brent wins.
There it comes. There it goes. Oh!
What is the odds? Twice tonight, 2 spins in a row. Easy sinker slide from RigRap. Brent Ernest, if you will send me your information tonight after the show, I will get those shipped out to you tomorrow. That is unfriggin' believable that she would hit that 2 turns in a row the first night that Glenn put them on for us. That is wow, is all I got to say about that. Holy cannoli is right. Thank you, Whisker Sticks. Appreciate it. Speaking of Whisker Sticks, Doc, he's been on the wheel since we got the wheel.
Yeah.
And he's been hit several times, but it's been a while.
Been a while since
he has been hit on there. So, but yeah, that's unreal that 2 consecutive times in a row. That's just unbelievable. But somebody gets to try out the new product, and I promise you're going to love these things, man. They're amazing, simply amazing. I'm in love with them. I ain't even got to use one yet.
Dennis Mayo wants to know, how do you hook that sandwich?
Sometimes I'll hook it through the nostrils, and then sometimes I'll hook it from the bottom lip through the upper lip, depending on the presentation I'm trying to give.
One thing's for sure, if you go up through the bottom and it comes out the top of their head, chances are really good it's going to stay on unless they can just take it.
That's right.
And I like that.
Yeah, that's mostly how I do hook a head. But sometimes I'll hook it, like I said, through the nostrils. And I played with the baits in a pool, and you can see the differences. I
got a message about how they call that from our old buddy Harley Neal, that cut, but I'm not going to repeat it on the show.
No.
But Harley, thank you so much. That is hilarious.
Catfish Stalker Outdoors with Greg says, Paul is an awesome guy and helps out other anglers, including me. Thank you, Paul.
I appreciate it.
Cool.
We had some really good visits at some of the tournaments you've been to, Paul. I mean, I enjoyed visiting with you a lot. We sit around and you don't always go out with a bunch of us drinking and outside at the trucks and stuff, but you always sit there and visit with everybody and share knowledge and things, and that's what those times out there at the motels and stuff, those big tournaments are all about.
It is. I mean, you hear a lot of this sponsored stuff nowadays. None of it matters. We're all friends. We're all fishermen. We're all competitors.
That's correct.
Just go fishing. Be nice to the fellow fishermen.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with helping nobody. There's nothing wrong with getting advice.
Started somewhere.
Yep.
It all started somewhere. Joshua Broderick, the sign "I'd rather be fishing" comes from tangling with catfish. Contact Jerry Klein Jr. Tell him you've seen it on the show. He'll be glad to set you up with one. I know he's got some. They are absolutely gorgeous.
Travis York wants to know, do you often run the double hook setup?
Just about every trip. I'll always throw at least one big bait. I'm a firm believer in different size baits till you figure out what they want. I mean, some of the biggest fish I've caught come off small baits, but then it seems like sometimes I'm more consistently catching fish off of a bigger bait. So I don't cut all my stuff the same. I don't throw all the same size baits. I'll figure it out. But if I've got 8 rods out, I probably got 6 different sizes of baits throughout the 8 rods. The one I think is going to be more prominent, I'll throw a couple of extras of it until I figure it all out.
Yeah. Lena Hardwick wants to know, does Paul fish at night, and does he have any of the whisker stick lights?
I do fish at night, and no, I don't. I buy the cheap, they're like 20 for $1 from the Dollar Tree store, little glow bracelets that kids run around with. and I just stick them on my rods.
Where are you from, Paul?
I'm from Anderson, South Carolina.
Okay.
I drive 3.5 hours one way to fish Santee Cooper every single weekend.
How far? 3.5?
3.5. It's a
Wow.
7-hour round trip for me to go fishing for 3 days, and I do it every weekend.
Oh man, that is dedication.
Yeah, I have plans. So you can't sit on the couch, catch them. You know, there's a lake 10 minutes from me, and to be honest, it sucks. It's been fished out by trot lines and different things and over harvested. So if you really want to get into it and you want to not get frustrated with not catching anything, you got to go to a lake where there's fish.
Well, Linda Folsom says that you can't drink or you might start dancing.
Yeah, that was my old days. That was my old days. See, I messed up and told them a story one night. That's what happens when you start telling people a story.
That's right.
They don't let you live it down. So
Junior Proctor, Blue Dog Fishing, wants to know, have you ever fished Monticello?
no, sir, I have not. I've probably been asked that 100 times and been invited to go, and I'm going to one day. It's closer than Santee, and they say it's a great fishery. So, but I don't know. I'll get there one day.
And this chat is flying. Dustin Paul wants to know, does he guide in tournaments?
That'd be a double-edged sword, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do that. I think that would. I don't even know how you would go about the logistics of that. You pay me to go fishing. Do you also pay the tournament fees, or?
Yeah.
Or, you know, I wouldn't want to do that. I would think that would. I just don't think that would be sportsmanlike.
I have a message sent to me on Facebook says, ask Paul if the water is clear on the wanted. I don't really get it, but maybe
I don't understand that either.
I don't know what the wanted is, so
I don't know.
Maybe it's like the dead stuff them guys watch on TV, whatever that is.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Kind of got me off guard. Maybe I'll resend it or something.
Bradley Young wants to know if you're going to fish the Ozarks National Championship tournament.
I'm not entered in that tournament. I haven't been fortunate enough to do really good at any tournaments this year. So it seems like I do good when I'm not in a tournament, but then I get in a tournament and it's like I blow up. I mean, I fished the Cabela's on Santee the other day and I had one bite, one fish.
Wow.
But yeah, I did an article with Ron Presley for Outdoor Journal back in November, and he asked me what I thought it would take to win it and how to fish it. And I didn't even listen to my own advice. And the guys that won it did exactly what I said in that article. And I mean, I'm not saying I told them that by no means, but when I was talking to them afterwards, that's what they did. They fished a shallow point near deep water. And I said that in the article and didn't even listen to my own advice. So,
it bit you, didn't it?
It did. I was catching good fish where I was at all week, and the front came through, and I went out and looked, and the fish were still there, but they weren't eating. So,
they want to know how you hook those sandwiches.
Most of the time up through the bottom lip through the top, but then again, sometimes I'll put them through the nostril.
Okay. Do you use those when you're anchored or drifting or both?
Drifting.
Okay.
Drifting. Mostly when I anchor, I'm using chunks and heads.
Are there any specific regulations you would like to see implicated?
That we will be here all night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, right now, South Carolina has put regulations on Santee Cooper lakes where you can only have 2 fish per person in possession over 32 inches. I think that needs to dwindle down to 1. There is no limit on them. which I think we all can agree that we want them to come a game fish.
Absolutely. That's the step to making it
that's
happen.
the general census. You know, I think there should be a limit. You know, I have nothing against trot lines or anything else. I mean, you're never going to truly get rid of that stuff. It's just, I think it needs to be more mandated. I think the first step is for game wardens to be on the water more. So I don't know. We can keep going, but you see where I'm going with it.
I do. Jason sent me that message again. And he got auto corrected. He was not real happy about that, but he wants to know if the water is clear on Santee.
No, it's been fairly muddy. We've had a lot of rain, and it's been fairly muddy.
Oh, dude,
autocorrect sucks.
Down there is hilarious, man. I'm not kidding. And it's something I can't say here, but I'd sure like to.
But no, it's been fairly muddy. It's starting to clear up a little bit, but it's not blue water yet.
Rob Gregg is 100% correct. It doesn't do any good if they make all the regulations in the world if they do not enforce them. And I'm going to touch on this for just a second, and I try not to horn in on what you were saying, but if you go to Colorado and you shoot a deer or an elk illegally, they will take your truck, your trailer, your horses, any camping equipment. They will leave you enough, or probably take you to the airport so you can call your wife and have her wire you enough money to buy a plane ticket to get home on. And as far as I'm concerned, it is no different for breaking regulations on our catfish than it is shooting an illegal deer or elk or something like that. It's all wildlife. If you get caught with an slot limit fish or an over that you're not supposed to have or an under that you're not supposed to have, lay it on them, boys. That's what them laws are built for.
I agree. I mean,
the only thing that I see worse than them not enforcing the slot limits is the fact that they don't enforce that people are guiding without legal license. They don't take the time to do what you did and get a Coast Guard license to guide on navigable water, which includes Lake Ozark and Trigger. Now,
I agree. We have some infamous illegal guides. That's about like that regulation conversation.
Yeah. You know, there's only about one thing that burns my ass like them guys guiding without the correct license, and that's fire just about this high. That's the only thing compared to it. There's just no sense in them allowing that to happen. It just sets me up. But regardless,
I will give it to the Coast Guard. They have been on Santee.
Send them to the lake of the Ozark.
They pulled up on my boat a couple of weeks ago. So I give them that. They're starting to show up there.
Yep. Bottom Dollar Outdoors said the commercial regulation should have the same regulation as everybody else, and that is correct. They sure should. But it is what it is. All right. You guys got some more questions for Paul? You better hurry up. We're running over an hour, and I mean, he's been answering everything you've sent him, so we want to make sure we get them all in. While we're seeing if anybody comes in, Paul, if you have any sponsors or anyone you'd like to thank that's helped you along the way, feel free to do so.
I've got a good many sponsors. I've been blessed in this fishing world. I haven't been in it as long as a lot of these guys, and I mean, I've got Catch the Fever and Big Cat Fever Slime Line, Easterland Sea Anchors, Hooker's Journal Tackle, Hurricane Anchors, Catfish Clothing, Survivor. Quick 8 Bait Company. I'm probably leaving somebody out. Jeff Jones Marina. Sometimes I literally have to look at my Facebook to see. But I've got a lot of help. And I'm sure somebody's going to chime in and say, sponsored guys are begging. I promise you right now, every single sponsor I got approached me.
That's right.
I didn't ask them for nothing. Fish Bite Rod Holders is one. And they've helped me tremendously. There's no such thing as a 10%. If you're getting 10%, all you're getting is a buddy discount. You're not pro staffed. That's the way I see that. But no, it's tremendous help I get from them. it'd be a lot. It'd be really expensive doing what I do without the help they give me, and it's greatly appreciated. And I try my best to promote them the best I can, from social media to my boat, my truck, and just talking to other anglers. You know, my general attitude in itself. So, yeah, they've all been a lot of help.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Three Rivers Catfish Club wants to know, are most of your clients new to catfishing?
So I've done a lot of trips this past month, and I've only put a few of them on Facebook. And I probably shouldn't even say this, but I'm going to. I've had a lot of tournament anglers on my boat that did not want it.
Where?
For this turn, there's a tournament coming up, and I've had some on my boat. Well, that's never been there, you know, just trying to learn it, not so much find spots, but how to fish it, learn the lake a little bit. And I swore to them I wouldn't say who they are, and I'm not going to. But so I've had both. I've had some newbies. I've had guys that love to fish that just don't want to buy a boat, would rather just pay a guide instead of worry about taxes, insurance, pulling a boat. And like I said, I've had some tournament anglers as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have a comment here that says it's hardcore catfishing hardcore, says Melinda Folsom, not going to ask him to do the magic mic.
That's that story we was talking about with that drinking back in them younger days. That was before Magic Mike, but I'm like,
okay,
I could do it better than he could.
Said he done it at the Catfish Conference. I missed it there too. Damn.
No, I didn't do no Magic Mike at no Catfish Conference.
Maybe we'll get you a booth next year, Paul.
No, Lord, no. You gotta be pretty to do all that.
Adam Winder wants to know, what anchor are you using?
Hurricane anchors. I've been using them pretty much since they came out. They hold. I'm gonna tell you right now, they hold. I've never used anybody else's brand, so I can't say they're better than or anything else like that. But if you've ever fished Santee, you better have a good anchor, and it holds.
There,
I've been in some 20, 25 mile an hour wind with 4 and 5 foot swells, and my boat's still sitting there. It might slide back just a little bit, but it still stays. So
awesome. That's a great product.
It is. It's a good anchor.
I sure like mine sitting in the shop. It's gorgeous, too pretty to use.
I said that about mine, and I finally put them on the boat the other day. Mine are red, white, and blue. They're based on the American flag, and
that's way cool.
I finally put them on the boat.
I got a call from Dave today. He wanted to know how to get a hold of them. He wanted to have some military themed anchors made, and I said, man, that's the guy to do it, because I've seen some of the stuff he does, and it's just like the ones that he sent Doc and I. They're absolutely gorgeous, and he's got that down to a fine science to make him look great. So we're thrilled with that, and it's just awesome. Paul, thank you so much for spending your Monday night with Doc and Cindy and I. We enjoyed having you on here so much. You answered a lot of questions, found out a lot of good information from you. And man, I wish you the very best with your new guide service. I'm so proud that you've done it right and went and got the correct license to do it like everybody should. And those pictures that you got of them fish you're putting them people on are magnificent. They're just great.
I appreciate it. We're trying to focus on trophy fish. You get on my boat, you're not going to catch 30 fish. I promise you that. You know, but we're going to catch good fish. This past weekend, I went out 3 times, and we only had 2 fish total under 20 pounds. So
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. I'm not saying I won't catch a 5-pounder, because I will, but we don't catch many. We're targeting.
Yep.
You know, I'm not going to promise you anything, but I'm going to promise you other than a good time. So.
Hey, that's why you go to start with.
That's it. I appreciate the invite to be on the show. I've enjoyed it. Thank y'all. I appreciate what y'all do for the industry. And
well, thank you. And we'll be seeing you probably at Owensboro and Memphis both. And stop in and visit with us, because if we're there, we're probably going to be doing something live somewhere.
Sounds great.
Well, I'll be seeing you in 25 days, 9 hours, 18 minutes, and 49 seconds at the Sea Arc Owners.
I will see you
tournament.
there. I will see you there. If I don't fish that tournament at Santee next weekend, I think I'm gonna run down there and do some pre-fishing. So
awesome.
We'll see.
Awesome, man.
Well, guys, I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much.
All right, buddy. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you.
Man, what a great guy he is. Does a wonderful thing. A lot of cool stuff for the sport. Great guide, man. He's been killing them out there, Doc.
Yep. Yes, he has. I've been seeing the pictures.
I'm going to send an invite to get a guy on here for just a few minutes before we finish up tonight. Glenn, I sent you a message on Facebook on the RigRap page. Jump in here and you can tell us about your stuff right quick, and then we've got some other stuff to go to. Got a bunch of stuff. While we're waiting on Glenn, All-American Catfish Tournament over the weekend. First place was Dave Swearingen and Greg Wing. They had a big fish of 57.7 pounds and a total weight of 81.4. Casey Hayes and Jeff Martinez. Big fish was 39.6 and total weight 58.8 for second. Gerald Peterson and Ron Clare, 50.1 on third place. Fourth place was Matt Mertens and Josh Garner, 32.7. Matt Jones and Michelle Jones, 28.8 pounds.
SWOCC tournament, Rocky Fork Lake here in Ohio. First place, Jerry Height and Mike Anderson, 55.2. Second place, Janet and Bink Fox, 53.4. Third, Isaac Barr, Larry Braley, and Cliff Myers, 52.9. They also had the big fish, which was an 18-pound channel.
Giant.
Fourth, Doc Lang, Daniel Vance, and Sean Dauphin, 44.9 pounds. And fifth, Tommy Long and Mike Wall, 43.1 pounds. Those are all channels too, and that's a
heck of a weigh-in.
6 limit and a 28-inch 2 per boat.
That's a heck of a weigh-in, and congratulations again, Doc, on that great finish in that tournament. I know there's a lot of stiff competition out there.
Yep. Very good. Who are we waiting on? Okay, let me go ahead and while we're waiting, let me go ahead and do Dr. Kit.
Let's do that. I
had an issue this weekend, and on my ProCat 240, I have a portable live well that I drop into my boat when I'm fishing big tournaments. When I'm fishing channel cat tournaments, I use the one that's already built into the boat. In the back, there are 2 overflows. There is one that's stationary near the top, and then there's another one that, it's got the pipe that you kind of push down in the hole, and then that ends up, maintaining your water level. We had the live well full, had 6 fish in the boat, and Daniel just happened to open up the live well, and there was no water in the live well. We had 6 fish laying on their sides, and what had happened was the pipe had popped out. I don't know if the fish were, they were getting pretty rowdy in that live well. I'm running air pumps on them, so they were banging around pretty good. So, I grabbed the pipe, put it back in the hole, grabbed a 5-gallon bucket of water, and just started pouring the water into it. So, Doc's tip for the night is make sure that overflow pipe is down in that hole good and tight so it does not get out, because it can ruin your day in a heartbeat. That's Doc's tip for the night.
That's a great tip, Doc. I really think that all those companies could and should make those tubes screw in. It doesn't take that long to screw them in and out, and that stops a lot of those problems. But when those fish get rowdy, they can also break them off. So, it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
But that's a great tip. Man, I'm very anal about keeping that lid door open and shut so I can check them fish. You know, when you get a great fish to boat, the last thing you want to do is lose one. And that's why those survivor units are so great for us.
Yep.
They save a lot of fish. Welcome, Glenn.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing wonderful, man. How you doing?
Oh, I'm just wonderful.
Are you drinking the Lipton Pure Leaf green tea?
I'm just plain drinking because you just gave it away the store tonight.
You can thank Cindy for that.
That's great. No, that's great.
What was the chance?
I got mine.
What was the chances?
I don't know what the chances were. All I can tell you is I was thrilled to see it. Somebody thought we had the wheel weighted.
I spin it hard.
Yeah, no, Cindy spends it real hard.
Oh, man. Man, I am so glad to get these sinker slides in. They are amazing product. I can't wait for people to start sending us the information on how well they like them.
Yeah, I really appreciate everybody's patience. It's been incredibly difficult to be working with the Chinese on the sinker slides. These things should have been to us before November at the latest, and here we are now just finally getting them out. So I wanted them right. We got them right, and we got all the pre-orders out, which I'm thrilled about. And did you show everybody how you can use it?
Yeah, well, I just showed it up there too on my desk full of stuff. I didn't actually have a way of showing them how to use them tonight, but I just am so excited to get them because I know you've been stressing about this, but man, they're awesome.
Oh yeah, no, it's been absolutely horrible, but I'm glad we got them. And I don't know, am I coming up here? Are you seeing me okay?
Oh yeah.
Everybody else seeing me?
Don't know yet.
I'm seeing myself at the bottom. I'm not seeing myself pop up. But
I got you. Whenever you talk, I see you.
Okay. Well, I wanted to show everybody how easy this is to use. I've got a 6-ounce sinker on here, and I'm going to take this out just to make it a little bit easier. But all you got to do is take your line. Can you see this? Am I doing this okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You just take your line and put it there. Put it in this one side. You're just going to weave the line on. Okay. That's all you got to do. Just weave it on and then snap it up into the slide channel. And it's on.
That is just too easy.
Okay. Now you throw your sinker on. It's a number 7. So you can get pretty much anything you want on here. Okay. And that sucker's on there. Not going anywhere.
That's way cool.
Now let's say you're fishing and you go, I don't have enough weight on. So all you're going to do is you're just going to add another one. Okay. Just add another one to your line. While you're in the boat, your line's still on the bottom. Again, snap it right into that channel. Get in there, snap in there. Okay. And send it on down.
That's cool.
Way cool. Yeah, this is going to revolutionize the way people change their sinkers on their fishing rigs.
Yeah, no, it's really going to make things convenient for everybody, and that's what we're all about. We want to be able to create innovative products and be able to provide the opportunity to spend your time fishing, not rigging.
And these babies are lightweight. They're made out of some kind of copolymer plastic or nylon that just
it's a heavy duty nylon, and actually within the nylon itself there's a fiber, so it won't, to break these things is almost near impossible. They're braid friendly. They'll fit up to 100-pound mono, no problem. They'll fit small lines as well. So it's really going to change sinker slides permanently. No more cutting your line.
Would it hold up with a hook? I'm not sure. That's a number 7 snap. It's plenty big enough, and I would say strong enough, but I'm not sure I'd want to use it for blue catfish or flatheads, maybe channel cat or something.
I'll tell you what, I mean, the thickness of the nylon, especially in the lower tab, okay, is as thick, if not thicker, as a 100-pound mono. So the chances of that breaking are about the same as your 100-pound mono. So it probably would hold up. But again, it's not meant for hooks. It's meant more or less for sinkers. But hey, go for it. Use it. If you do, let me know how it turns out. I'd love to hear it.
Heck yeah. Now, 6-packs are $3.99.
Yeah, what we did is that we looked at the marketplace, and most of the sinker slides are out there. You can get the cheaper ones for, I think it's $2.99 for a 4-pack. And then there's more expensive ones out there for, 3 of them in a package for $4.99. And again, we want to be able to offer great value. So what we did is these are the same size as the sinker slides that are currently in the market.
Well, the difference is the ones that are the other removable ones and ones that are easy to put on like that are 3 times this size.
Well, yeah, there's only one other removable one. Well, I should say there's 2, but they're nothing in comparison to this.
No.
This is the same size as the conventional sinker slide that everybody's accustomed to using. It's extremely durable. It's braid friendly. And what we've got 6 in a package. Not 3, not 4, not 5, but we have 6 in a package for $3.99. And then we've got the bulk pack, which has got 48 in it for $29.99.
That's a heck of a deal.
It's funny, too, because the bulk pack has been selling much more than the 6-pack.
I got to get rid of a guy. Hank, go ahead, keep talking. I got to get rid of him.
Okay, well. So, anyways, it's we're very, very excited to finally have the product, in inventory. We have a limited supply right now. The full production run is still underway and will be delivered to us. We're going to air express those in too, because our friends at Walmart are screaming for it. So we hope to have it in there very, very soon.
Do they come off as easy as they go on?
Yes. Here,
Bottom Dollar's Outdoors, you don't have to worry about him. He is no longer with us.
Okay. So to take it off, you just weave it out. Let me get around here. There you go.
On, off. Simply. Easy peasy.
Yeah. It's real simple. Let me try to explain how this works. Is that you have the little weaving points, the openings on the bottom. And if you can see in the center how it's pinched, that's why you see me snapping the line up to the slide channel. Once it gets into that slide channel, it's not coming out. You unweave it and then snap it out, and you're good to go.
Does no harm at all to your fishing line. That's the part I like about it.
No. Well, you can see. I mean, I didn't hurt the line at all.
But I'll use it on nylon, braid, and mono, either one.
Well, the nice part about it is the nylon's so tough that the braid's going to have little effect on it.
Awesome.
And we did it as a green color so that, when it hits the bottom, it kind of ties in with, a lot of the growth on the bottom and that kind of thing as well.
That's outstanding.
Kind of I won't say camouflage, but sort of.
Tell our viewers where they can order these, Glenn.
You can get your Easy Sinker slides at rigrap.com, rigrap.com/products. And like I said, we've got a very limited supply, and people have been ordering them all day long. So if you're going to order them, make sure you order them probably in the next few days before they're sold out. They're going that fast.
Wow.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, it's just once everybody knew we had some in inventory, it's like, boom.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a great product. We've been waiting on them for a long time, and I'm so thrilled to get them. We're going to be trying some out here really, really quick. Do
we want to give another pack away, Doc, in the chat?
We can do that. Give me a second here. Let me grab everybody that's in chat.
While Doc's doing that, I want to tell everybody, if you're in the Springfield, Missouri area and you run into a problem with your trolling motor, Marine Repair Center, these guys will take care of you. Authorized Minn Kota dealer. They also service other stuff. They got everything down there from trolling motors and fish finders, parts service, installation. Boom, fixed my trolling motor I've been having problems with. I'm so pleased to find those guys done an outstanding job at a reasonable price.
Give me a number, Glenn.
Well, since we've been making it an easy night for you,
Pick a number.
We'll do number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2. There's 1 and there's 2. And the winner is Sean Abney.
Sean Abney.
Sean
Way to go,
Abney.
Sean. You're gonna love these things, Sean.
Absolutely. Him and Sarah get in for the prize wheel game every week. They not Sarah, Heather. And Heather has won a couple of times. I think Sean's won once. So congratulations, Sean. You're going to love them, man. They're outstanding product.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions regarding the Easy Slides or any of the other RigRap products, just look me up on Facebook. I try to answer every single message that comes through. Unfortunately, I've been a little lax in it about the last month. I've been working on a few things, but I'm back at it full time, and so hit me up there and be more than happy to answer any question you have.
Awesome, Glenn. Awesome. Always great to have you on the show with us. Thanks so much for coming in and talking about these easy sinker slides. I know everybody's going to love them. I hope that everybody wants them, gets them as quick as they can, because they'll be out and then be waiting until the next order comes in. I don't think you was ready for the amount of people going to be wanting these as actually are wanting them.
Oh, no, it's actually been overwhelming. But again, we kind of suspected that, with the new design and not having to cut your line now every time you want to put a sinker slide on, it really makes the old style slide obsolete. It just, I mean, why would you want to get another sinker slide, which is pretty much identical to this size? This has a number 7 snap on it, which is everybody wanted that. That's what they told us, and that's what we gave them.
Yep.
Why would you want to go with the other ones? It doesn't make any sense.
Not to me.
Hey, whatever.
That's right.
I just want to thank everybody for their patience, and thank you guys for the opportunity to come drink with you.
Well, you know what, Glenn? We appreciate everything you do for the sport of catfishing. It's always a pleasure to have you on here. And we're going to have some new stuff coming up here before long and some more stuff coming in. We'll get you back on here to talk about that too.
Terrific. I'd love to.
All right, man.
Hey, Doc, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Glenn. Thanks for coming on board.
Did you get your care package?
Yes, I did, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Terrific. Put them to good use. Good to see you.
I will.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Glenn.
you.
Have yourself a wonderful night.
We will. We got some more stuff to talk about, Doc.
Yes, we do.
Got any more announcements before we make the big announcement?
No, I didn't get any more. I'm looking here, making sure I don't have anything.
Jeremy, you get those at sinkerslides.com or sinkerslides, rigrap.com. Kevin Hill is doing fine. He is overwhelmed by the amount of support that he's getting from everyone, and we want to thank everyone for that. Us doing a little broadcast the other night has helped him a great deal after having his garage catch on fire. He lost his boat, his buddy's boat, and his truck. But I think personally, he's not injured, but wow, it's a tough deal. And I personally want to thank everybody that watched that special edition and are helping Kevin out. That's really way cool, but that's what we do as catfishermen and women.
Yes, it is.
All right. Now, Doc, last week we was telling everybody we had something big coming on. We've been leading up to this for a while.
Yep.
And I told everybody that we wanted to wait until the people live relatively close to you, and they actually brought this product to your house and showed it to you to prove that it is a great piece.
Yes, it is.
All right.
And I was pretty impressed with it.
Well, for the doctor to be impressed, everybody should be pleased.
So I was very, very impressed with it.
All right.
First of all, I want to thank somebody, David Funk, Funk. He's the guy that actually put the gentleman that made the donation. You know, he brought them to me. They contacted me, and I ended up talking to him. And who are we talking about? We are talking about D&D Welding. It's David and Scott Daniels out of Marengo, Ohio. And what have they donated to Catfish Weekly? They have donated a removable live well that can be taken, put in your boat. It can be removed. You can transfer it to another boat. You know, you can move it in and out. Now, this unit is 40 inches long by 20 inches wide and 14 inches tall. It's made out of 1/4 inch aluminum. It has all stainless steel hardware, has stainless steel hinges. It weighs 85 pounds. So it's, you know, relative, it's, you know, it's big, and it can hold some serious fish. And several of the guys in this area, they have modified their boats to handle this size of a live well. So with that being said, this live well is about is a little bit more than over $1,000. So that is a big, big prize.
That is a huge prize for someone to contact us to give this away. And all of you people that join our Facebook page, that are subscribers to Catfish Weekly and make your comments and share all of our posts, you're the reason that these sponsors are able to do this, because they know that when they do a prize on our show, they are going directly to the source of the people they want to target. And we appreciate it more than we can ever tell you. And the sponsors, this is their way of saying, hey, I got what you want. Now come and get it. And for them to step up like this, that is I said it was huge. Nice. It's actually bigger than huge, Doc. That's a major thing to be given away. But someone's going to win it, and they're going to win it next week.
Yep. We're going to give it out on April 9th, next Monday.
Now, you will have to pay shipping. If you win this live well, you will have to pay the shipping.
Or you can come to Ohio and pick it up.
If you want to drive over and get it, I'm sure they're fine with that.
High-end shipping, if somebody out in LA, Los Angeles, wins it, it'll cost $132.50 to ship it to LA. So Sterling, Colorado, it's $112.46. So the closer you are to Ohio,
the less it's going
to cost. Cheaper it's going to cost.
That's exactly right.
Now, this live well, it doesn't have any pumps or anything on it. So, you know, if you want them to cut the holes in it, or, you know, however you want it done, you know, it's just going to be a box and the lid and all that. But I'll tell you what, it is really made like a tank. It is very good. So here's the rules. You got to pay the shipping prior to them even doing any work if you are the winner. You need to go to their Facebook page, which is D&D Welding, on their Facebook page. Like them, and then share it. Now, after tonight's show, Lyle is going to be putting a post out, and that is where you will come back and you will sign up for this giveaway.
And you have to share the post that I make. When you sign up and say that you have liked their Facebook page, then you will like our page, sign up on it, and share that post so as many people can get a chance at winning this as possible. And I will make a post. It'll be later on the night when I get all the final stuff for this show done. I will make a post up for that, and it is Double D Welding. Isn't that right?
Yes, Double D Welding.
They do excellent work. Since we started this, I've been checking their page every day. They make some outstanding products. I can't wait. I think I'm going to have them build one for me. So it's going to be a huge deal. It is a huge deal. A custom-made live well that you can remove in and out of your boat for a little over $100 to get it shipped to you. that is a deal of the year, the best I can tell. Yes, there is pictures on Facebook. You go right to D&D Welding and check out their work. If the doctor says it is a deal, it's a deal. He said
it's a nice live well.
So Doc's talking about having one made for his boat, and we're talking about having one. So you need to make sure that you check these guys out. Who doesn't want to win a $1,200-$1,300 live well and get it sent to you for the cost of shipping?
And we appreciate. I mean, this was a huge donation on their part.
What?
So
I'll put the link to their Facebook page on our post when I get it done. But we will have to. I have to get everything loaded and uploaded for this show when it's done, because the guys that listen to the podcast and stuff as they're driving down the road, they get on me pretty quick if they're driving down the road and they want to listen to us and they can't. So we will get all that posted up just as quick as I can, but you'll have to go to their Facebook page and like it, tell them you appreciate it, and share the post that I put up so everybody can have a chance at winning this. I don't know how anybody could miss. Do you, Doc?
No, I wish I could get it.
Yeah, I wish I could enter too.
I can't. I can't, and that's cool. I mean, the guys, it's a father and son, and they were nice, real nice people.
How far did they drive just to bring it to show it to you?
About an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And what they had is they had a little prototype that they showed me, and they showed me how their welds were and how they make, the stainless steel hardware, and then it folds down inside and it all sits flat. I saw several boats that they have worked on. David's boat is just immaculate. They did a lid for Sean on his boat, and then currently they're working on several other boats right now. So these guys are the real deal. They do excellent work. I'm a welder, and I'm not as good at aluminum. I'm mainly stainless steel, but these guys have really got the knack for welding aluminum. So
awesome. Yeah. And, like I say, they're trying to target this, and they can make them any size and dimension.
Yeah. So anything.
If you win and that size will not work with you, I'm sure they will work with you to make it fit whatever size your boat is, because I have a specific area that I put live well in, and I would want mine built to that specific thing, and I'm sure they would be able to take care of that.
Yeah. So
all right. What else we got tonight, Doc?
I believe that's about it.
Listen, people, we want to thank you guys for the likes and shares that you do every week, for subscriptions to Catfish Weekly. We appreciate so much you sharing your Monday nights with it. It's awesome to know that you're going to be here to watch the show with us. Next week, Ty Conkle from FV Catfishing is going to be on the show. If you've ever watched any of his videos, he was at the Catfish Conference. Ty's a great guy, catches a lot of fish, puts a lot of good people on fish. So he will be here as our guest next week. It's going to be a great time. We're going to give away a live well, Doc.
Yes, we will.
For the doctor, Tim Lang, and Cindy Stokes, I'm Lyle. Thanks for watching Catfish Weekly. See you next Monday night.